Apologies for any technical difficulties there at the end of the first half. We'll try and get those sorted by the start of the second. There is the half-time whistle. And as we go in for half-time, it's South Shields 1, Marine 1. Geordie Mongoy opened scoring on 24 minutes with a well-taken goal, lobbed over goalkeeper Bailey Passant, before Sol Solomon crossed in towards the back post for Hayden Campbell to dive in and head in his 12th goal of the season. So we are level at the break. Join us in 15 minutes for the second half. Hello and welcome back to today's coverage of the Pitching In Northern Premier League. We are live from First Cloud Arena as South Shields take on Marine. Currently a goal apiece at half-time. 24th minute goal from Jordi Mongoy gave the home side the lead before Hayden Campbell's diving header at the back post levelled the scores for Marine. His 12th goal of the season, brilliantly set up by a combination of Andrew Scarisbrick and Sol Solomon. The players are just about making their way back onto the pitch. Commentating for you today is me, Luke Feather, and I'm joined by Adam Tiffin. Adam, what did you make of the first half there?
I thought it was a nervy start to the first half. They looked in definite control of the game, putting together some really nice passing moves. But after they scored their goal, we looked to settle down a bit, actually. And then we started pressing them a bit more, started breaking on the counter a little bit. Obviously just a moment of brilliance from Sol Solomon to pick out Hayden Campbell at the back post. But encouraging signs, definitely. And with the performance on Monday against Warrington, it could have been a really tough game for us, especially the first half. It could have been, you know, there's potential if we'd have continued how we played on Monday, potentially 3, even 4-0 down. But we've looked good and we've looked to held our own against the league leaders.
So Marine just about ready to get us back underway. Sol Solomon stood over the ball on the centre spot. The referee, one last check with both goalkeepers, and we are back underway for the second half. South Shields 1, Marine 1. Can either side find a winner in this second half? Early throw in over on the far side for Blair Adams, playing at left wing back for South Shields. Switch of play up towards Asai, headed away by Sean Smith, in for Lucas Weir's first involvement of the second half. Back to Barragan, who looks to play it forward quickly up to Solomon. Takes a bit of a whack in the back, but it's cleared away by Shields, and Sean Smith can take it down, and back to Mark Howarth. Played forward quickly up towards Solomon. Will it run through to Campbell? No. The ball in the middle of the pitch now with Asai. Spittle on his back, and Spittle does give away the free kick. A little bit too enthusiastic with his challenge there, Johnny Spittle. It's Smith for the home side, Martin Smith that is. Here's Broadbent now, looking to charge forward under a little bit of pressure from Campbell. For Blair Adams, passes all the way back to Miles Boney. Just a reminder of the Marine team today. In goal, it's number 1, Bailey Passant. Number 2, Josh Solomon Davis. Number 3, Sean Smith. Number 4, Mark Howarth. Number 5, James Barragan. Number 6, Johnny Spittle. Number 7, Lucas Weir. Number 8, Charlie Doyle. Number 9, Hayden Campbell. Number 10, Sol Solomon. And number 11, Andrew Scarisbrick. So the ball is in the hands of Bailey Passant, urging his team forward. Marine lining up in pretty much a 4-4-2 today. Scarisbrick and Lucas Weir providing the width for a midfield with Charlie Doyle, the captain today, and James Barragan in the centre. Out wide now with the right back, Solomon Davis, back to Johnny Spittle, who looks to loft it forward towards Scarisbrick, one of the star performers in that first half. Does get the ball across goal, but the linesman's flag was up against Scarisbrick.
Yeah, we'd like to have maybe seen a little bit more awareness from Scarisbrick there. All the players around him had the arms up, appealing for him to be offside, just for him to sort of let the ball go, because I think Solomon probably could have got there. It would have been a much tighter angle for him to get the ball back across to Campbell. But, you know, it's nitpicking really. He's been great in the first half.
A reminder of the South Shields team comes just after this long ball's headed away by Mark Howarth and out for a Shields throw-in. In goal, it's number 1, Miles Boney. Number 2, Jordan Hunter. Number 3, Thomas Broadbent. Number 4, Gary Liddle. Number 5, Dylan Morse. Number 6, Martin Smith. Number 7, the goal scorer, Jordi Mongoy. Number 8, Robert Briggs. Number 9, Darius Asai. Number 10, Mackenzie Heaney. And number 11, the captain, Blair Adams. It's been almost a 3-5-2 set up for South Shields today. Back three of Morse, Liddle and Broadbent. The whip supplied by Hunter, another one of those best performers in the first half. And Blair Adams. In midfield, it's been Smith and Briggs as Asai looks to charge forward. Smith with a Sean Smith with a short back pass to Passant, but he's out of his box quickly to clear under a little bit of pressure from Asai. That's cleared well up the pitch, out for a Shields throw-in. So taken by Jordan Hunter on the halfway line. Options shown by Martin Smith. A loose throw-in. It's picked up by Lucas Weir in the end. Charlie Doyle gets a toe in, plays it back to Sean Smith. Gary Liddell can take it down up at the other end of the pitch. And here's Robert Briggs. Wide now to Blair Adams. Space to charge into. Out wide to Mongoy. Gets a decent looking cross into the box. It's almost a good job Sean Smith didn't make connection with that one. And it's gone out in a left back position for a Marine throw-in. Dangerous attack there, Adam.
Yeah, and that's those two poles up front. They've got pace, got power. Obviously great ability there to put a cross in, just nobody at the back post. And I guess that's the risk you run with just playing the two up front. They've got the number 10 sitting in behind Heaney. But they look to be causing problems. And Howarth, just represented by that clearance there, has had a bit of a nervy game.
Yeah, shanked clearance there from Mark Howarth out for a throw-in. Onto another new ball as that one has cleared the stand that we're both sat in today. All the way back to Broadbent now. His ball forward is intercepted by Campbell. Can he make the most of it? No, Broadbent recovers well. Gets past two with a single move. Into Heaney. Lays it back off for Smith. Delicate ball through. Looking for the run of Mongoy. Great defended in there by Charlie Doyle.
I think it was actually Howarth who maybe made this challenging to clear that, and we've just been saying he looks a bit nervy, but that's a brilliant last-ditch effort to get the ball away from the feet of the South Shields player who's bearing in on goal.
It's Heaney out wide now for Shields, plays it back to Adams in the box now, in the penalty area, cut out by Barragan. Lays the ball off for Bailey Passant to clear. Good spell for Shields, and Sean Smith can't quite make the most of that one. Weir looks to head on for Campbell, but here's Briggs. Back to Broadbent. Big switch of play over towards Mongoy, but he's stood in an offside position. Free kick for Marine. So about 50 minutes played. South Shields 1, Marine 1. As it stands, this result will see us remain in 6th position. Because recent results have seen Marine drop out of the playoffs. 3 without a win in the league. News of a couple of goals in the other games in the playoffs. Hyde United 0, Everton Collieries 1. Gainsborough Trinity also a goal down away at Stafford Rangers. So as it stands, it's only Warrington Town, currently 2-0 up at home to Belper Town, that are winning in those playoffs positions. So ball's in the centre of the pitch. It's nicked off. Doyle. Briggs looking for options ahead of him. Out wide now to Blair Adams. Back to Briggs. Big switch of play over towards Hunter. Smith does well not to lose his man after diving in. Hunter onto his left foot. Edge of the box for Briggs. Looks to sneak a ball in towards the back post. Just ahead of Mongoy. The Marines survive for now. Final touch off of Solomon Davis, and it's a throw in for South Shields.
I think if Mongoy had got a touch on that ball, he might have been offside, but luckily for us, we didn't have to worry about that.
Howarth calmly out from the back. As Barragan looks to play it forward up towards Solomon. South Shields fans behind the goal, vocal once more. Boney plays it wide to Liddell into Broadbent. Smith looks to launch it forward quickly. Asai made the run down the left flank, but not quite able to keep it in. So it's going to be A throw in for Marine, who look a little bit deflated at the start of this first half.
It's been a very similar start to the first half as it's been to the second half. You know, we've not looked great, not looking to put too many passes together. They've been the ones looking sharp. So we'll see how the next sort of 20 minutes plays out. This is a big next 15-20 minutes for Marine.
Broadbent manages to half volley the ball forward again for South Shields before Solomon Davis produces a volley of his own to clear. Martin Smith can't quite retain possession. It's cleared up towards Hayden Campbell for Marine. Tries to come back inside on his right foot, but Gary Liddell gets a vital touch on the ball before playing it out to Briggs, and Morse calm in possession. Charlie Doyle a little bit aimless with that header, picked up in midfield by Martin Smith. Tries the ball over the top out towards Asai. Solomon Davis tracking back. Asai tries the ball across goal. Too much on that one, over the head of Jordy Mongoy. A throw in for Marine in a deep left back position down by the corner flag to be taken by Sean Smith. A reminder of a few of the substitutes for Marine today. We've got Luke Clark and Alex Doyle, a couple of midfielders who could come on and inject a little bit of energy into midfield if needs be. Callum Harris, similar, perhaps more forward thinking, more of a number 10. Jordan Lussey if we're looking to regain a bit more possession. And of course the goal threat of Mo Torre. Long ball forward from Smith is taken down well by Dylan Morse. He took a little bit of a knock after playing the ball out, but here's Martin Smith. Into Asai. Tries to poke it forward for Mongoy, but Asai is flattened. Spittle, a little bit silly. After the whistle had gone, he kicked the ball in the direction of Asai. Luckily there was no power behind it, otherwise the referee might have had a bit of a different view of it. But it is a free kick in shooting range for the home side. About between 25 and 30 yards from goal.
Yeah, it's a great area really, especially for a left footer, because you can really go either side of the goal. Pretty much right down the middle from our angle. We can't quite tell, but it looks to be pretty much in the middle of the goal. So Bailey's going to have to be careful where he puts himself, where he puts his wall.
Looks like Robert Briggs is the favourite to take this one. He's stood over the ball with authority. Mackenzie Heaney is in attendance as well. It is Briggs. Off the wall and out for a corner. As far as I can remember, I think this is the first corner of the game for South Shields.
I think so, yeah.
Looks like it's going to be Martin Smith to come across and take. Over on the left-hand side for the home side, so it will be an in-swinger with the right foot of Smith. Liddell, Morse and Broadbent have made their way forward. Broadbent in particular, a commanding figure in that penalty area. Mongoy and Darius Asai in their own rights. No slouches. Asai looking to mark the goalkeeper. Good ball in from Smith and towards a good area. Broadbent was the closest to it. Mark gives away a penalty. Broadbent was looking to keep it in before it went out for a goal kick. Mark Howarth with a bit of a needless push on Broadbent. And now Shields have a golden opportunity to regain the lead.
I think it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's a penalty, firstly, but I do think it is poor from Mark Howarth. He's facing the corner flag. You don't need to be grabbing at the arms or anything like that, but it's smart from the South Shields player, but the referee's bought it.
It's soft, but it's on Howarth for giving the referee a decision to make,
Exactly.
really. It looks like it's going to be Darius Asai. There's a little bit of a hold-up. There's Johnny Spittle is the man to enter the referee's notebook, trying to plead his case to the referee. Josh Hall having none of it. Darius Asai, 8 goals to his name this season. Is South Shields' joint top goal scorer, alongside Michael Woods and Dylan Motley Henry. Bailey Passant, the penalty hero on Boxing Day. Can he make the save? Great goal. Calm as you like from the penalty spot from Darius Asai, with conviction into the bottom right corner. South Shields 2, Marine 1.
That's just a brilliant penalty from Osei, right in the bottom corner. Bailey goes the right way. What's happening there? Looks like Howard's been sent off. I'm not sure what for.
Not sure what's happened there. Off the ball incident. Mark Howarth is absolutely enraged. Things have gone from bad to worse for the Mariners. 2-1 down and now a man down.
I don't know what actually happened. We just looked up. So we could hear a commotion going on, looked up and see the referee with cards in his hand. Howarth looked livid. I'm not sure what for. You'd have to look at some sort of replay after the game for that. But horrible position for Marine to find himself in.
You can understand Howarth's frustrations. He's given away a bit of a soft penalty, one that could have gone either way. Another referee on another day might not have given it. And now there's a little bit of a sting to the match. The referee just needs to regain control. The crowd are really riling up the players. You can tell a few Marine players have lost their heads. Johnny Spittle most notably, Mark Howarth, costly. There's another strong challenge in there. I think it was from Charlie Doyle. And I think Shields just slowing the game down. It's all gone a little bit hectic here at the First Cloud Arena. Marine are going to be making a change. It looks like Hayden Campbell is going to be replaced by Jordan Lussey. Neil Young and his coaching staff pleading their case to the linesman. They just need to keep their cool and get out the linesman's face. Just over an hour played here. South Shields 2, Marine 1. We've had a bit of a delay in play for the last couple of minutes. I think Luke Clark's also going to be coming on. So it's Clark and Lussey on in place of Hayden Campbell, the goal scorer.
God, well, you couldn't find yourself in a much worse position if you're Neil Young. Just conceded a soft penalty, and the person who gave away the penalty is going to got himself sent off. As I say, I don't know what for. Hayden Campbell comes off. But yeah, Campbell obviously got the goal. I think he's played well, but he's just struggled with physicality a bit. And you see Solomon Davies, I'd imagine he's coming off as well. Hopefully there's nothing too problematic for him. Maybe it's just a knock, just a bit of an impact injury.
Solomon Davies is a player that has struggled with injuries this season and last season, so you've just got to keep your fingers crossed that if it is Solomon Davies to be replaced, which it is, you just hope it's nothing too serious and it's just more of a precautionary one. Solomon Davies wants to come back on, but I don't think he quite realises that he's been subbed. Ball into the box now, headed away by Johnny Spittle as the football finally resumes. Clark looks to play it forward quickly, takes a bit of a tumble, wins aside a free kick.
this has the potential to turn into a really, really scrappy game. Lots of bookings, things like that, because at this point, anything the ref gives in Marine's favour, this crowd's going to be all over the back of him.
And likewise, every time a South Shields player makes a foul, the Marine players are going to be around the referee, asking the question, where are your cards? Sent off one of ours, booked a couple more. Just under 65 minutes played here, Thirst Cloud Arena. The reverse fixture between these two sides ended with a point apiece. 2-2 that one was. Marine will be hoping that they can conjure up something similar today.
I think it's going to be tough from here, especially with the man down. It's going to be one of those ones where you're going to try to take it as long as you can, as deep into the game as possible, and try to get something near the end, because against a team of this quality, it's going to be so risky playing with it. An extra man, you know, they're going to have all the possession in the world. You're just going to have to sit off them. Pressing would be almost like a kamikaze tactic.
Amongst all the madness there, I will just confirm those two substitutions once again in case we were missed. Josh Solomon-Davis and Hayden Campbell have both made way for Luke Clark, who we assume will fill in at right back, and Jordan Lussey, who will come into midfield or line up alongside. No, I think he has gone into midfield, and Charlie Doyle has dropped into defence alongside Johnny Spittle.
Looks like Solomon-Davies, as he was going past us, indicating
It looks like
maybe a problem with his groin as he was walking past, just pointing to the physio.
Solomon-Davis has taken a bit of a whack to the face there, so he wins his side a free kick. Clark and Barragan, the two most likely stood over the ball. Barragan has left it to Clark. It's over on the right hand side, so maybe does suit a right footer more. Looking for an outswinging ball. It's a decent ball in. Johnny Spittle couldn't quite make a connection on it, and here is Mongoy looking to hit Jordan Lussey on the counter. Lussey does really well to stay with him. Smith comes across well to put a challenge in. Hunter in towards the centre to Martin Smith. Not too much of a change of shape for Marine, other than, of course, a numerical disadvantage that they now possess. More of a 4-4-1-1, 4-4-1, sorry, as opposed to the 4-4-2 that they had lined up with. Solomon, you just fear that he might become a little bit isolated up there by himself. Marine going to have to do a lot of off-the-ball work. Solomon is just going to have to try and put as much pressure on the back line as he can. Broadbent plays it forward into a side, turns, but Spittle gets the foot in there, and Solomon, with a touch on the ball, plays it back to Lussey, out wide to Clark, and all the way back to Passon. Long ball forward, held up a little bit in the wind, headed out by Broadbent. And Mongoy had made his way back from an offside position, and the most obvious one of the afternoon, the linesman took his time in making. Much more obvious than some of the other offside calls that have been given anyway.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I don't know what took him so long.
Anyway, we are back underway, and Spittle looks to play a long ball forward up towards Scarisbrick, who's seen his influence on the game diminish since the half-time whistle. One of the players that didn't want the break.
I think our moments for chances are going to come from the likes of Spittle making challenges when people are trying to turn, and just quick counters when they're facing one way and getting turned quickly when we can bomb players forwards. But apart from that, I think we're going to struggle. Obviously, set pieces we're relatively strong at.
Here's a chance now of a long throw into the box from Clark. Might just fall for Scarisbrick. I think that must count as a chance on goal, but there wasn't a great deal of power behind it. Boney wants to get the ball moving again quickly, but his manager, Kevin Phillips, just telling him to slow the game down. There's no need to rush into potentially losing the ball. But Broadbent now looks to play a long ball over the top for Asai. Linesman's flag is up. A little bit of frustration from the home side, whether that's aimed at the striker for constantly straying offside, or at the linesman for constantly having his flag up.
He's getting his money's worth today, that line, though.
I think that one was the correct decision, so maybe the frustrations lie with Asai there. The man whose goal, as it stands, will confirm all 3 points for the league leaders. Martin Smith looks to lob it forward again for Asai. Central now with Scarisbrick, who looks to volley it forward. No one had really made any sort of run towards a penalty area for Marine. Solomon putting a little bit of pressure on. Long ball forward, headed on by Heaney. Heaney holds off the challenge of Barragan well. In the middle with Briggs. Spreads it wide over towards Adams. Adams wants to cut inside. Back to Briggs. Tries his luck. And that was neither a pass nor a shot in the end from Robert Briggs out for a goal kick. Passant much more willing to get the game back underway. So just for one change left for Marine. Callum Harris, Motore and Alex Doyle, the 3 remaining players on the bench. As the game goes on, you wonder whether Motore might get a run out, a bit more of a physical presence up front than Sol Solomon.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd like to see that change, but it's one of those where do you want to save yourself those subs till later on, just in case there's problems defensively. You never know.
Mongoy does well to lay it off for Smith. Out wide now to Hunter. Cuts inside and then makes his way back wide. Mongoy back to Heaney now. Martin Smith all the way back to the halfway line with Morse. Good possession from South Shields despite the groans once again from the home support.
Yeah, the phrase spoiled crowd comes to mind.
Here's Hunter. The home fans urging their team forward. But the players just opting to keep possession wisely against the 10 men. It's a good way to play against a team when you've got a numerical advantage. Briggs looks to spread it out wide now to Hunter in a little bit of space. Sean Smith coming across to close his angle. Tries to force him wide. Does well, lays it back off to Martin Smith though. Decent looking ball in, but Asai unable to connect with the header. Clark looks to play it down the line quickly, but Blair Adams intercepts and then goes down. And you would think that's another yellow card. Yeah, another booking. This one to the substitute, Luke Clark.
Yeah, just a sloppy pass. Not looking at the men around him. Not needed either. Had plenty of space to look up and pick out a pass. Plenty of time as well. And he ends up fouling the man who intercepted his pass.
5th booking of the afternoon, plus a red card for Mark Howarth. If you are just joining us, we are about 70 minutes played, just over. South Shields 2, Marine 1. First half goals from Darius Asai and Hayden Campbell took us into half-time level. Geordie Mongoy, sorry. Before a penalty in the second half, given away by Mark Howarth, was converted by Darius Asai. And Mark Howarth, for an off-the-ball incident, was given his marching orders by the referee. Bailey Passant has just caught the free kick and tried to get the game back underway quickly. Geordie Mongoy's closed his angle, and as he's tried to play the drop ball, he's blocked the ball from leaving Passant's hands. So Geordie Mongoy with a fairly innocuous yellow card there. Joins his strike partner Darius Asai in the book. Booked early on in the first half. Long ball forward from Passant up towards Weir, headed away by the commanding Liddell. Geordie Hunter required to volley forward now. Spittle wins the header, but into the feet of Mongoy. Wide now to Adams. A bit wider than he would have liked. Tries to pull it back. Cut out by Scarisbrick. Scarisbrick looks to just play it forward down the line up towards Solomon, but it is tough. Up there on your own, and it's dealt with fairly comfortably by Broadbent. Back to Martin Smith now, looking to play a long diagonal up towards Heaney, taken down into the path of Asai. Challenging there from Doyle, a little bit more force on it than he would have wanted back to his goalkeeper. Few cheers from the crowd. It's Bailey Passant. Clears long. Kevin Phillips, a former Premier League striker, tries to show us he's still got a bit before taking a tumble as he controls the ball.
You can win a goal. You can win a golden boot, but can you do a slightly bad first touch at the first arena?
Ball down the line now for Darius Asai. Tries to find the ball down the line for Hunter, but cut out. And here's Solomon with a rare touch. Weir can look to launch a counter-attack now. Can he spread it wide? Just about for Barragan. Solomon's taken down off the ball, but the referee's having none of it. I don't think he's even seen it. Weir evading a couple of challenges before being hacked down by Mackenzie Heaney. Martin Smith is absolutely livid in the middle of the pitch for South Shields. Feel the frustrations from the crowd starting to spill over onto the pitch. Such high standards they've set here at South Shields. One of the sides with big budgets in the league. A side that was very much expected to at least challenge at the right end of the table. Many of them saying that they were pre-season title favourites. Long ball forward from Passant is dealt with, and back to Boney. He's taking a bit of a heavy touch, but manages to get the clearance away in the end. Up towards Heaney. Controls well. Looks to play it down the line for Mongoy. Good challenge from Johnny Spittle. Had to get it right on a yellow card. Quarter of an hour to go. Just for one goal in it between South Shields and Marine. Marine down to 10 men. Throwing high up the pitch to be taken by Blair Adams. To the feet of Heaney. Back to Adams now. Heaney gets it back. Here's Broadbent stepping up into midfield. Robert Briggs looks to spread it wide over towards Jordan Hunter, but just behind him, an out for a throw-in, which will only add to the frustrations of the South Shields fans.
I wouldn't mind seeing a change of maybe taking a Lucas Weir off, and you can maybe drop in a Scarisbrick or a Solomon back further into midfield and bringing a Toure on just to add a bit of more legs up front, because when we're going forward, we just don't have the numbers or to make up for the tired legs.
Martin Smith spreads it out wide over towards Blair Adams. He's got a little bit of time and space on the ball. Jordan Lussey eventually coming up to put a bit of pressure on. Long diagonal from Martin Smith. Looking for Hunter, but just runs out of space. Marine throw-in. Of course, when you're down to 10 men, a lot of the emphasis for Marine will be just stay in the game for as long as you can. I just wonder when that point does come where Toure does come on. We had another player on and we go for it. Another attacking player, I should say. As Mongoy gives away a free kick in a left-back position for Marine. Bailey Passant will come out and take. And the time for Toure is now. And as you said, Adam, it looks like it's going to be Lucas Weir making way.
Get me in the dugout. No. Yeah, I think Lucas really hasn't had many opportunities to really influence himself in this game, lay his mark on the game with his technical ability, but it's hard to do when he's, especially after the red card, to be able to use his abilities going forward. But Toure, I think, is the right change, and he's given Neil Young's given him enough time to get himself sort of into the mojo of the game.
So Marine sacrificing one of those numbers in midfield, but as you say, it is about the right time. Solomon was completely isolated up there on his own. Bit more defensive duties for Scarisbrick, and here is Toure looking to influence the game straight away. Can't quite win the ball in the Shields penalty area. Cleared up towards Asai. And the referee straight on the case to award a free kick against Johnny Spittle. It looks like Shields are ready to make a substitution of their own.
I was just thinking, I haven't I'm surprised there hasn't been any changes for them, because there has been a few players who haven't looked quite up to it. Like so Briggs have played a few iffy passes here and there. I'm not sure what their options are like in midfield on the bench, but I'm sure that they have reinforcements on the bench with the size of the club that they have.
Well, they signalled that they were going to make a change before the manager shushed that idea. So carry on as we were. Long ball forward from Shields up towards Heaney. He's got ball side. Luke Clark applying the pressure. Here's Martin Smith into Heaney, back to Smith now. Good spread of play to the opposite fullback, Hunter. Field now to Briggs. And it looks like Dylan Motley Henry is getting ready to come on. Maybe he just wasn't quite ready at the last interval. An attacking player, a natural winger, so we wait to see who he comes on for. Asai looks to spread the play over towards Hunter. And here is Solomon now in the centre of the pitch. He's hacked down by Robert Briggs, and that's at least a yellow card, referee. Free kick's been given, and the yellow card is in hand. Yep, cynical one there from Robert Briggs. Correct decision by the referee.
Yeah, he was really angry with his teammate there. Loose pass forcing him to make the challenge to bring down the man. Round of applause here for, I think it's Osse who's come off.
First change of the afternoon. For South Shields, the goal scorer, the scorer of the first goal, Jordi Mongoy, replaced by Dylan Motley Henry. So pretty much a like-for-like change. One ball into a box from Passant, wasteful there. Gathered easily by Miles Boney. Into the final 10 minutes. Still Shields lead 2-1. Valiant effort from Marine. And here is Dylan Motley Henry's first involvement in the game. He looks to play it infield for Heaney. Good defending back there from Barragan. Final touch came off a Shields man, and it's out for a throw-in.
I think it's probably a smart change for them to bring on another looking like a pacey, strong attacker, just to cause problems for that tired Marine defence if they are breaking forward.
Ball into towards Blair Adams, off his line well. Bailey passing to make the stop. It was Heaney that slid the ball through into Adams. It came out of nowhere. Thread of a needle pass. Passant saw it coming and came off his line well to keep the scores at 2-1. Marine's still in the game. There is Spittle. Looks to play it forward up towards Solomon once again. Runs all the way through to Boney. The goalkeeper gets it back off of Morse onto his left foot. Clears only as far as Lussey, who's unable to control. Motley Henry could be in on goal here to the right of centre. He's got no one with him. Cuts back onto his left foot, tries his luck. Vital block in there. And the referee is awarded a goal kick. It did look like the final touch came off of a big block in there from Charlie Doyle, but
you'd hope so if you're Motley Henry. If that hasn't come off of a Marine player, that finish is appalling. I think he probably should have taken it earlier, to be fair. He faced up Passant before Smith and Doyle got back to defend, but it's a poor finish.
The only thing that I can think if a referee's given a goal kick is that the block has rebounded back off of Motley Henry, because it definitely took a block. It was massively obvious. It's either that or a blaring mistake from the referee. Anyway, a long ball forward from Clark. He's headed out by the South Shields man. For Martin Smith, looks to volley it forward once again. Spittle does well to take it down and play to his new makeshift centre-back partner, Charlie Doyle. It's Sean Smith. Out wide to James Barragan. Back all the way to Charlie Doyle. Tries for long ball with Torre on. It gives you that bit more physicality, but there's too much on that from Charlie Doyle.
I think we've got to be smarter than that in that situation. You had plenty of time, and all the forwards are all going for balls in behind. I know it's getting towards the final 5 minutes of the 90, but you've got plenty of space, and like Scarisbrick, you'd want to see them maybe just drop in and offer different options, split the centre-backs up a bit.
Throw in a deep right back position for Jordan Hunter. Launches it down the line, looking for Motley Henry. Might just fall for him. Charlie Doyle goes sliding in, but Motley Henry continues. Slightly heavy touch allows Clark to get in, and then Scarisbrick back on his defensive duties. Back to Passant. Decent left-footed clearance. Heaney actually nods it on for Torre. Torre evades a couple of challenges. Barragan looking to play it down the line for Solomon. Too high, that one. Looked like Boney was about to pick it up there as he came outside his penalty area. In the end, spreads it wide to Broadbent, and here's Blair Adams. Loft the ball forward up towards Mackenzie Heaney. Does well to hold off a couple of challenges, and wide now with Motley Henry. Infield to Smith. Towards the back post where his size unmarked. Going to get back onto his left foot. Good block from Sean Smith. Rebounds back out towards Adams. Out wide again to Heaney. Heaney back to Broadbent. Charging forward now. Centre back tries his luck on his right foot. Tipped over by Bailey. Passing. Good stop in the end. Needed saving.
Yeah, good reflexes by Bailey there. And a good block by Smith earlier to deny Ossé. But I think they're almost just trying to walk it in, South Shields. I think they'd be better off sometimes just having a bit of a pop shot. You know, the grounds is a good one, but there are a few bobbles here and there, especially around the goalkeeper. If one lands just in front of Bailey passing, he'll struggle to save them, as most keepers would. So I think they just need to be a bit more ruthless, and I think that's what Kevin Phillips want to see. He's going mad sometimes when they're just hesitant to pull the trigger.
It's going to be a corner, an outswinger this time, to be taken by Martin Smith, who I must say has had a fantastic game in the middle of the pitch for South Shields. Controlled much of the play alongside Robert Briggs. Arrowed in towards the back post. Broadbent is the target. Doesn't quite fall for Asai, who thinks about the shot, but instead lays it off back to Briggs. Back out wide now with Asai, held up by Luke Clark. Asai looking to cut back onto his right foot into Heaney. Just giving him a little bit of support. Frustration grows behind us as they play it back to the halfway line. But they've kept possession really well and they spread it back out wide to Hunter. Hunter cuts in onto his left. Square ball to Briggs. Wide again to Heaney. Wide once more to Asai. Wants to cut back onto his right foot. Lays it off in the end for Heaney. Martin Smith's got a little bit of space. Tries to look on the left foot. Takes a deflection. Passant able to keep it in. Tries to play it quickly forward up towards Solomon. Gary Little takes ownership of that one. Heads it well clear. Passant rolls the ball out for Spittle. Spreads it wide for Sean Smith. Doesn't quite control it, but manages to retain it. Now here's Torre. Infield now to Scarisbrick. Spreads it wide to Solomon. Can he cut back onto his right foot? He can't. Onto his left. Wins a corner. And a chance, a rare chance, for Marine to get bodies forward in the second half.
Yeah, good play, and it's the first time we really got a few bodies forward. Motori, a bit of good hold-up play, but a bit of good skill as well to weave in and out of some defenders. Eventually, Scarisbrick moved the ball out to Solomon, and he wins the corner.
Corner in swinger for Solomon, in towards the back post. He's gone for it again. Does Solomon know that you are allowed to cross it from corners? Every time he has one, he goes for goal. It's tipped over the bar by Miles Boney, as he did in the first half. Solomon will get another crack at it. Marine are crowding that 6-yard box. A few men in there. Another good ball in towards the back post this time. Headed out, but not fully cleared. Scarisbrick tries his luck. It would have taken a brilliant effort from that position. And we are onto another new ball. few cheers as Bailey Passett comes to collect the ball before South Shields manager Phillips boots it away. A few choice words from the Marine bench towards the former Sunderland striker. Boney gets us back underway eventually with this goal kick. It's cut out by Clark in the centre of the pitch and headed away by Briggs. Here's Hunter. Infield to Martin Smith, and all the way back now to Morse. Under a little bit of pressure from Solomon. If he can get round him, he can. Good pressing play from Solomon. Morse in the end forced to shove Solomon over and pick up a yellow card, give away a free kick, and it's a chance to get a ball into the box.
Yeah, good pressing by Solomon and the rest of the players in and around him, and he's so good at that, just winning free kicks, nimble footwork, getting around players and just getting them to bite in on challenges, and it's an amazing opportunity to whip the ball in, and you back Solomon with his delivery abilities to put this in a good area. Unfortunately, we don't have as much height as we previously did with Mark Howarth, but if you put the ball in the right area, someone's going to get on the end of it, hopefully.
4 yellow cards apiece now, plus the red card for Mark Howarth for Marine. Sol Solomon in a left wing position, ready to swing a free kick into the box. What can he make of this? It's a decent ball, but it's almost caught the goalkeeper Boney out. A little bit of wind changed the direction of the ball, but Boney in the end gathered fairly comfortably. We have passed the 90-minute mark, so Adam, I will ask you, who is your man of the match?
I'd have to give it to Andy Scarisbrick for his performance in the first half. A tough and close contender for him would have been not happy here, Kevin Phillips. Look at him, he's going mental. Yeah, I'd say Scarisbrick overall. Solomon is a close one as well, because he's been really lively in the second half. He's had not much to do, but the times he has had the ball, he's been effective and he's been out there the whole game. But Scarisbrick has been the one, I think, in the first half who sort of lit the fuse for us in those final 20 minutes. But yeah, Solomon close. Scarisbrick, though, takes it for me.
So, commentary man of the match, courtesy of Adam Tiffin, Andrew Scarisbrick. Ball back with Bailey Passett now, clears with his left foot. Hunter is the first to it, looks to volley it forward again, up towards Motley Henry. Can he slide it through to a side? Not quite. Doyle steps up. Ball into Solomon, he sweeps it wide for Torre. It's a great ball out wide. Torre now looking to make his way into the penalty area. Shifts onto his right foot, tries his luck. What an effort that was from Torre. Tipped over the bar by Miles Boney. Marine are not dead yet, and they have another corner.
Not at all. There's life in this team, and you can tell everyone's piling themselves forward. And it's a really good strike by Torre to test the keeper. It's probably the first real save the keeper's had to make all game. But he's done well to tip it over the bar, and another great chance for Solomon to whip a ball into the box. Unless he's going to pull a Perisic and whip this in with his left foot, I don't think he'll be able to put it on the keeper as he'd like to.
Yep, an outswing this time from Solomon over on the other side. Lucas Weir, of course, no longer on the pitch. So his set piece services no longer required. A little bit of height in there from Johnny Spittle and Charlie Doyle, perhaps. In towards the near post, it's bounced right across. Charlie Doyle picks it up, plays it back to Sean Smith, a bit of a heavy one. Smith looks to loft it forward to Solomon again if he can. First time ball back into the box. Can Spittle keep it in at the back post? So not quite. 2.5 minutes of added time played now. We're not quite sure how much has been added on.
There was an announcement, but the tannoys weren't as up to standard as the rest of the stadium. You just couldn't quite hear it.
Throw in for South Shields. Just overhit that cross. Solomon. He had to bust a lung just to keep it in. You would imagine we've still got another 3 minutes potentially. There was a lengthy delay after the red card. And then with the Solomon Davis injury. Marine win the throw-in. Oh, but they've not made the most of it, and Barragan loses possession to a side. Cleared away. Charlie Doyle picks it up. Spittle looking to force it forward now. Long ball forward from the centre-back. towards Torre if he can keep it on. Hunter clears. Smith does well to win the header. Cleared away, but only as far as Johnny Spittle. Spittle forward into Scarisbrick again. Looks to flick it round the corner. It's Torre. Tries for a little flick round the corner. Motley Henry will give chase now. But Passon comes out of his box well to deal with it. That eats up a few more valuable seconds.
Torre's had a few chances there where he's got the ball or been in and around the ball, and he's tried to be a bit too clever one time. It's come into him. He could have gone up to win the header to knock it back across the box for someone else, but he's backed into the man to let it drop to him, to the South Shields player, and he's eventually cleared it. Then he's got the ball to feet and tries a sort of back heel flick to try and find the man. Not sure where he's playing the ball. As that Luis Alessandro comes on.
Second substitution now for South Shields. Luis Alessandro will come on in place of scorer of, as it stands, for winning goal, Darius Asai. Eats up a few more valuable seconds. We've now played 4.5 minutes of added time at the end of the second half. Potentially another minute if the referee adds on these substitution times, which he should. And the ball out of play. Here's Broadbent. Been here to shoot, tries his luck on his left foot. He didn't half hit that one, but a little bit too much height on it. Prevented a spectacular goal.
He's got some strike on him, that lad has. He's driven forward a few times as well and unleashed that dagger of a left foot, but he's just always rising that one. I feel we may have one more chance maybe to get forwards, but I think unfortunately we're probably not going to get the full amount of added time that we probably should do with the amount of subs and things like that.
And there is the referee's full-time whistle. The first half goal from Jordi Mongoy, well taken as he lofted it over the on-rushing Bailey pass. It was cancelled out after Solomon pulled the ball onto his right foot and crossed in towards the back post, where Hayden Campbell could nod in his 12th goal of the season. Into the second half, and Mark Howarth gave away a soft penalty that some might say might not have been given on a different day. Darius Asai stepped up, made no mistake from 12 yards, and Mark Howarth was unable to keep his frustrations under wraps. Picked up a straight red card, and then it was an uphill battle from there for Marine. South Shields controlled much of the game. Marine gave it all, and much improved performance from the match against Warrington Rylands. But it's full time here at the First Cloud Arena. It's finished South Shields 2, Marine 1. Thank you everyone for listening. I'll see you on Tuesday night for the trip to Matlock Town.